Bow ties are cool. Hello Whovians! It's bigger on the inside. Boom! The screen has indeed started recording and we are ready. So as you can see on the screen we have what we're doing today is ranking the Doctor Who series, the newer ones from 2005, of which is better and which is worst. Very, very interesting indeed. As you can see we've got 12, I believe there's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 series, which is just fantastic. It's just quite a Doctor Who film video, themed video. The fact that I'm got a TARDIS and a Dalek right next to me. Woo! The very, very start was obviously Christopher Eccleston and Rose Tyler, and I felt like this was a really, really good series. When you had Christopher Eccleston in, sadly, for one season, this is really, really hard for Doctor Who. Doctor Who obviously was on back in the 60s, I don't know if that's right, but it was on back in the 1900s, and it finished for quite a lot of years, and it came back in 2005. And obviously it's always really, really hard to get things going again because Doctor Who was so popular, and to come back with it, it's always hard for the Doctor as well and all the writers, but they did a really, really good job of it. I really enjoyed the first episode, Rose, where we had the window shop dummies coming live and killing people, had the third Doctor as well. That was really, really good. As you can see, we got S, A, B, C, D. I'm guessing, I don't know, I'm guessing S is super, A is amazing, okay, diabolical, I guess. We're going to put it, you've got to think about this, we're going to put it into the second tier, okay? It was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's fantastic. I thought it's actually pretty good for the first season. So then we come into David Tennant. Our David Tennant years were blimmin' fantastic. Also still with Rose Tyler. Had some really good episodes as well, like the New Earth that we had. And obviously how that the story with Rose Tyler and her mum, Jackie, that was a really good little story that we had throughout the episodes. Again, I'm going to put that onto the second tier. It wasn't fantastic, but it was pretty good that I put it there. The next season was with, I want to say Donna or Martha, I'm not really too sure. It doesn't really matter where order I put them in anyway. But we'll go with Donna. So Donna, we had stuff like Planet of the Oods that were introduced, they were ever so good. We had Forest of the Dead. I put that whole series up into that second tier as well. Then we come up with Martha. Now, and some of you may not believe me, but you ready for this? You ready? Are you ready for what I'm about to put it on? Are you ready for this? Right up at the top, I will explain my answers. You may completely disagree with this, but I completely agree with it. Some classic episodes. We had the three-parter where John Simmer's the Master, absolute classic television. Then, as the Master, and David Tennant together were absolutely fantastic. We had the Utopia, Sound of the Drums, and the other had a three-parter there. Blink as well, easily one of the best episodes of Doctor Who ever made in some people's opinion. Other stuff from the Jadoon and the hospital flying off into space. So we had a lot of really different, fantastic characters develop here. Martha herself, her character is absolutely fantastic, hence why I'm putting up to the C at the top. I just don't know what the S actually stands for. It could stand for but I'm assuming it's going to stand for super. But there we go. And then come into Matt Smith. Now Matt Smith, in my opinion, was one of my favourite Doctors. My opinion, I think he was better than David Tennant. Cue me to be destroyed now in the comments for saying that statement. But his first season I didn't like. It's a bit like David Tennant's one. It was okay. Christopher Eccleston is okay. It always seems to be the last season, or the second season, where it is really, really hit on top. So I'm going to put it in the middle box. I thought it was okay. I wouldn't put it past, better than that. Now, Matt Smith's second season was absolutely fantastic. That was hit on point. The two-parter, we had The Silence coming back and River Song coming back. So we had The Silence, River Song, Matt Smith finding out more about his past, and Amy and Rory. Again, Amy and Rory themselves are absolutely fantastic. And don't get me wrong, in the first season, being introduced to Amy and Rory was fantastic storylines. I feel like the episodes were quite weak, really. And I put it in the middle. I could put it down into the next one down a column. I thought, no, I'll keep it in the middle as it is. But I'm going to put that one up to the top again and stick that into the second column because I feel like it's got some really, really good episodes. We still got that Amy and Rory story developing. River coming back as well. We learn a little bit more about her, which is fantastic. But then come into the last season with Matt Smith, and this was a very interesting season yet again. But I'm actually going to put him in the into the third tier. The episodes for me were actually quite boring in the fact that I feel like from now onwards, Doctor Who did start to climb down. I think Doctor Who was peaked, and now it's not really peaking very much at all. We get even lower. Peter Capaldi is 3 fantastic series of how we also had Bill coming in as his companion. And I sort of feel like that the companionship did start to go down. Obviously, I'm so sorry I forgot about Clara. We had her with Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. She was very, very good. And Doctor Who's first season with her, I've got to put them there. Not there, sorry, upper tier into that. It's fantastic, it really, really was. Few episodes, but yeah, again, not enough to go into the second tier. Let's go with the next series as well. Between Peter Capaldi and Clara, they're always like in the middle sort of thing, really. But the last one with Bill, I'm going to put for the first time ever into the C, into the crap one. I'm assuming that means, I guess, the bottom one's diabolical, maybe, I'm not too sure. But in all seriousness, I really feel like the writers sort of like changed the episodes, weren't as good, they weren't as strong, and obviously when Doctor Who's been on for this many years now, it's sort of running out of ideas, you can sort of tell that. Now we then come into the Jodie Whittaker years. Obviously Stephen Moffat, a fantastic writer, you stopped writing now as Doctor Who writer, and a few writers, but you could just again say that Doctor Who has changed. Now I'm not being horrible about genders here. This was a massive change for Doctor Who because it was the first ever female Doctor. We had female companions, we even had a female Master being Missy and River Song, both fantastic characters. For me, Jodie Whittaker didn't do it. It's not because she's a woman, it's because she was trying to be people like David Tennant, like Matt Smith. She was trying to be them, and she wasn't herself. I will never remember Jodie Whittaker as her. I'll always remember her as being like somebody else, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you guys obviously agree with me. Some of you may love Jodie Whittaker, and I've got nothing against the woman. But it's the writing and her acting combined in the episodes that didn't make it fantastic for me. Hence why I'm going to put the first season at the bottom, right at the bottom. And the second season was a little bit of a step up. We got a little bit more used to it. As for ratings, Doctor Who had some bumper ratings. In fact, the biggest, if not the biggest, since the 2005 revival of when Jodie Whittaker first took over. Now, we'll have to admit that is due to gender. It was the fact that Jodie Whittaker, as a woman, the first time Doctor as a woman. So people wanted to see what she looked like and what she was like as a Doctor. By the end of the second season, we had lowest ratings recorded ever, around 3 to 4 million people tuning in. And Doctor Who's really, really good in connecting with families, but the fact is they had 9 to 10 million people tuning in. And David Tennant years were mad, and Matt Smith years were quite mad as well. But Jodie Whittaker, she's starting to drop down a little bit now. Now we know she's coming in for a third season as every single Doctor except for Christopher Eccleston has had, so we're assuming this will be Miss Whittaker's last season as the Doctor. As again, that second season was a little bit better, so I'm going to put it onto that fourth tier alongside Peter Capaldi and Bill. So that is what I'm thinking. David Tennant and Matt Smith all the way just at the top of that list. We've also got Christopher Eccleston coming in the second tier as well, while Jodie Whittaker and Peter Capaldi tend to be a little more bottom of the list. You can see a bit of a correlation there. The newer episodes of Doctor Who don't tend to be as good as the classic David Tennant years, because David Tennant he's up there with the classics now, Tom Baker, etc. The first Doctor. So hey guys, obviously enjoy this video. I am a Doctor Who fan. I sort of, in my opinion, I haven't enjoyed the Doctor Who series recently. Sort of started with Peter Capaldi, so kind of the writing and the acting hasn't been fantastic, and the imagination also hasn't really been there. But it's really hard to compete with episodes like with Matt Smith and David Tennant, absolutely fantastic. If you guys enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. If you guys are new, please subscribe. I might do some more of these tier list videos on loads of different topics, but Doctor Who is something I really enjoy, so why not try and do it? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Bye guys.